We want to solve triangle ABC, in which we know that side A is 9 feet, so side A would be across from angle A, so there's our 9 feet. We know that side B is 12 feet, so 12 would be across from angle B, and we know that side C is 14 feet, so 14 would be across from angle C. So the situation that we have is we're given 3 sides, and when we're given 3 sides, the appropriate rule to use would be the law of cosines. So we can begin this problem to solve for whichever angle we choose to. I'm going to choose to solve for angle A. So I'm going to write that the cosine of angle A is equal to, start with the side across from angle A, 9 squared minus the other 2 sides squared, and it doesn't really matter in which order that you write the 12 and the 14. And then we're going to divide by negative 2 times 12 times 14. Now to enter this on your calculator, it's very important that your whole numerator is in parentheses and your whole denominator is in parentheses. And to find angle A, we're going to use the inverse cosine function. So make sure that your calculator is in degrees, and then you're going to say inverse cosine, so that would be second cosine on your TI-84. And then we're going to put a parentheses and say 9 squared minus 12 squared minus 14 squared, close that parentheses, divided by parentheses negative 2 times 12 times 14, close that parentheses, and then close the big parentheses for cosine. And we'll come up with that angle A is 39.571 degrees. Now we want to choose which angle we want to find next. I'm going to find angle B. So I'm going to repeat this process, and I'm going to write the cosine of angle B. And this time, because I'm looking for angle B, the side across from it is 12, so I'm going to write 12 squared minus 9 squared minus 14 squared divided by negative 2 times 9 times 14. And again, my parentheses are going to be very important. I want to make sure I have a parentheses around the whole numerator and parentheses around the whole denominator to actually find what angle B is. I'm going to use the inverse cosine function on my calculator. So inverse cosine, put in an additional parentheses, 12 squared minus 9 squared minus 14 squared, close the parentheses, divided by parentheses, negative 2 times 9 times 14, close the parentheses, close the big parentheses for cosine, and we come up with angle B is 58.145 degrees. Now we could continue this process for angle C to find it, or we could note that the 3 angles in a triangle are supposed to add up to 180 degrees. So angle C is going to be 180 degrees minus 58.145 plus 39.571. And so if we enter that on our calculator, 180 minus parentheses 58.145 plus 39.571, close that parentheses, we come up with angle C is 82.282 degrees. To make sure that you have this process down, you might also find angle C using the law of cosines formula. Now I have rewritten this formula a little differently than it is in the book. I think that the way that I write it is an easy way to remember, and that you can be successful in using the law of cosines for angles using this format for the problem.